There we go. Right. Yeah, guys and girls, welcome back to another video of Eastenders reviews. This one's for Monday, and this one is for the 5th of February 2018. I will try and get a couple done today. So some of these might be shorter than other episodes, because I'm trying to fit them in, trying to get to the Friday's last episode of this week, because it's the 10th today. But I want to try and get as much detail out of the episode as possible, without spoiling the other episodes. So today's the Saturday, the 10th of February 2018. This episode review is for Monday, the 5th of February 2018. And let's have a look. As you can see at the back here on the screens here, so if we look to this side of the screen, I don't know which side, where if it reverses, but we've got the Eastenders in the corner here on my screen. I'm over to the left hand side of my monitor. Then we've got like a picture of Danny Dyer's character, Mick Carter, and we've got Karen Taylor. Then we've also got the storyline with Billy and Honey as well there, and still some more episodes on Sharon as well, Sharon Mitchell, and Mel as well, Mel Owen. So let's have a look. Let's get down here a little bit. I'll just wait until this bloody thing advert finishes, so I can get right into the episode. Right, so it starts with the intro. Let's have a look. Right, so it has a picture of the entire street of Albert Square at the moment. Now Mel's walking in the street, and she's going into, by the looks of it, Phil's gaff, I think. Yeah, Sharon's place. And Dennis has just walked out the door. And now we've got Sharon picking up some letters. And she, Mel wants to know, she wants the cash, but she said, any way she can pay as long as she gets the money today. She said a bank or transfer or check, she said. But she said she prefers cash. But anyway, she wants to be paid today, she said. Now we've got Billy and Honey. Billy's putting his tie on, getting ready for his job at the funeral home. And where is it? It's on about Les, I think it is. Honey's on about Les, saying, why is he coming down? Where is it? Saying if it's him having a promotion. She said it's not like Les to say why he isn't coming and stuff. And Billy's trying to get out of it a little bit, saying maybe it's just because of the, because he's in the area. So maybe he's just popping down. And then Honey says, maybe he's coming to congratulate you. And then she said, well, you have been saying that the profits have been up. But what he's been doing a bit of dodginess with Phil and the rest of the gang who was to do with the heist. So they've been doing the operation at the funeral home. And also, he took out the funeral van, which actually, the hearse, I should say. And he took that to the graveyard when they were doing the heist to try and find the money. And by some of chance of it, they've actually caught it on camera. And now at the next episode, which I will do, I won't say anymore, but it's a good surprise. Oh, and he said, Honey said, maybe he's getting ready to sell up, oh Les. So maybe he's going to give him first dibs at it. And he's saying, that Pam and Les is not getting any younger, so they're probably. And he said, who wants to think about funerals at their age? And he says, oh, he trusts you and stuff, so it's in safe, good hands and all that with Billy. But is it really? And then she says, oh, we could change the name to Mitchell's and Sons. And like, oh, Billy's looking a bit surprised. Like, that's not a bad idea, actually. And now we've got Mr. Masood's gaff area, his house with his auntie and uncle. His auntie and uncle who are actually going around adopting children and protecting them and all that, and brings them back to the house, and then they actually release the kids into foster homes and all that afterwards. They're looking at some decent foster parents for that girl, for Daisy. And the auntie is just looking a bit depressed because she doesn't want to give Daisy away. And then she's trying to explain to the uncle and stuff if she's actually told him that she wanted the girl wants milk at night time when she wakes up and stuff, like warm milk. And then the uncle said, yeah, you've told them many times. Oh, oh, bloody hay fever coming down. Ah. Oh yeah, and she don't like it particularly because it's two blokes who want to adopt this little girl. So she said two men, but she said it's not all about fun and laughs and all that. And then saying what happens when she becomes a teenager. Now the uncle said he's off to the shops. And the uncle said it looks like it's a good family for her and all that, for Daisy. Oh yeah, no, Sharon said something to Mel then. She said that was my favourite mug. But Mel says she'll buy her a new one as soon as she gives her the money. And she said what's puzzling her is how she got it from Ben, the money. And actually, how does she also get hold of the papers, that whole bunch of papers, and give it to Ben in the first place? She must. The thing is, I think there's more to Sharon in this heist than what she's letting on. I bet she didn't even take it or anything at all. I think there's a lot more to it. She said, watched, waited, and she said it wasn't hard. And now Mel said, oh, Phil doesn't really know. Saying that he's bound to find out. But she said she wasn't going to go all the way up to the West End. She said that wasn't her intentions. But she didn't want Phil to get any deeper. Or get beaten up. Or worse. So basically, Mel's stating that she was saving Phil from himself. Now she's saying how sweet it is and all that with a smile on her. But she said, "Oh, then you don't mind you don't mind giving me the money back and stuff like you owe." But now she's staying now that her son's in trouble and she needs the money. She said all we have to do is phone Kira up, and she said we all are. But she says she hasn't. She wants to know why not. But despite her differences, they go way back a long time. And she said, like you said, she said, oh, you don't need the money, she's saying to Sharon. But Sharon said whatever they say is whatever they promise and all that. She says she'd be lucky, a bit like Pat Butcher, she said she'd be lucky if she had enough for a G&T and stuff at the end of the day or the week. So she wanted the more money, really. Then we got old Billy looking at the funeral home, Cockers and Mitchells. With Jay coming out the door with his cup in his hand, looks like a cup of tea maybe. Oh, giving it to old Billy. Oh, little advert summing it. I want to try and get at least like 2 or 3 episodes done today if I can, but try and get this episode out and then I'll put the next one on as quick as possible and all that, but it does take me a little bit of work on it. Oh, Billy's saying to OJ, oh, are we all good? And OJ's like saying, yeah, we're good. Now Billy says, come on then, let's go in. So they're going in. Now Mel's stating to Sharon, oh, you can't get away with it, you can't hold it for too long. She can't ride this out, she said. If she thinks she can, she can't. Oh, Kira ain't gonna drop it, apparently. And she said if Sharon's saying now that if Kira's holding Hunter by his free will and all that, why she hasn't gone to the police about it. But she can't. And then Sharon reckons that she's lying, apparently. So she was married to her brother-in-law a long time. Now she's trying to get out. But she said they're not a kind of family that lets you go out easy and all that, basically. Now she wants that money. She wants to give her that money to Kira. She said that's her ticket way out. But is it? Then we got Danny Dyer's character, Mick, in the launderette, trying to get his clothes done. I know Karen's talking about something about a bug, saying shooting out 24/7. And then he's going, oh, lovely, oh, Mick. Oh, and she said, oh, if you give me a score, because he's putting all his washing in the washing machine, a lot of it, he's got a lot to do. And she said to him, oh, if you give me a score, she said, I'll get a lot done for you, but she wants a price done for it. And she said she'd do as much iron in like an hour. And she said, oh, it's a good offer. But he said, oh, it doesn't work like that, actually. And he said, she's saying that most companies will charge like per item, but she says she's going to do a full load for him. But he said with a fixed price, he said you know what you're getting, so he said he likes to do the fixed price. And apparently she's got to pay for unscheduled breaks, and she's like, she has her breaks when she likes. And then she said you can't keep her hands, she can't keep her hands still because she said that's why she smokes and all that. She said these are grafters' hands. But she said she'd do an offer for him and all that, for Mick. But he said he's sweet. And then he said, is Linda be in later to collect? And he says, ta-da! Oh, and then basically, it's back to Sharon and Mel now for the scene. And then Sharon said, oh, do you think you could flutter your eyelids and eyelashes and all that to fall her and all that? And she says she don't care whatever you do or whatever you say and all that. Or neither will Phil. She says basically she's fluttering her eyelashes and lids and all that, her eyes. She said hoping that blokes will fall line and sinker. And saying that Ben put himself in the firing line. And she said those days are long gone apparently. And Mel said, oh, the Phil she knows. And Sharon said, what do you mean the Phil she knows? And Mel said, oh, he's like, you either with him or you're against him. She says she knows Phil more than Sharon does. But she says that's the last place where she would like to be, is with Sharon. But she wants her son. But Sharon said that her son is nothing to do with her. So maybe, I don't know, maybe she like help her at some point in the episode to get rid of Kira. Or maybe they end up murdering her or something, bumping her off for a scene. That would be quite an interesting scene. And then they go after Aiden afterwards. And then she's saying, oh, Kira won't do anything to her son because basically the son to Kira is family, so she won't touch family. And she said, yeah, you're probably right. Just break is a few bones instead. But she says she needs the money. Oh, so now she says she's basically going to say, oh, I'll tell Kira that Sharon is the one who she should be going after her now. So she's trying to blackmail her now. And she says, trust me, you don't want that, she goes. Oh, now she's going to say to her now, she said, oh, why don't you just tell me that you don't know where the money's gone now? It's like disappeared, it's gone and all that. And she said, you can't have what they don't exist. And she said, I'm sure you could be very persuasive. Oh, she wants to make it worth her while now. Oh, a cut. And she said, you get your son back, a bit of cash, and then get something out of the country. Get some out of the country and all that. She said 80 or 20. Or she said, Mel said now, maybe, oh, I'll tell her, oh, Kira, that you've got it, she said. She said she'll tear the place apart, and wherever you stash it, she'll find it, and then she'll have nothing. And she said, oh, if Kira finds out, less than nothing. So she's trying to blackmail her now. But she wants 60-40 of it. And she said, if I say no, oh, Sharon said, oh, She go, oh, that's her on the phone now, because basically she's ringing up on the phone. Oh. And then we got old Billy and Her Majesty's Revenue. Apparently he's been not paying his taxes, or he believes he hasn't been paying his taxes. But this ain't the reason why Pam's back. Apparently Pam's come back. Billy thought it was going to be Les coming back, but she's come back because it's not about the Her Majesty's Revenue, about the tax evasion and all that. It's about him basically being caught on the camera with a car which is belonging to the funeral home at the, I think it was like the graveyard, and she wants to know why he's been keeping it, like why he's driving the car at a certain time, and why has he been digging up holes and all that. Oh, and now we've got to Sharon wants to know what Kira wanted, and Mel said, oh, she wants to speak to me. Oh, adverts a minute. Oh, God, hay fever. Right. Right, here we go. And she said, oh, are you going to tell her then, she said. She said 60-40, she goes. But you don't say a word to her or anyone. And she wants to know if she's got her word. But she said, oh, she understand it if it comes from you, she said. So basically she wants Sharon to go and see Kira. And she said, oh, I'll get my coat, she said. Oh, so apparently all the bodies in the funeral home, all the fridges are packed in on Billy's funeral home area, and now all the bodies are starting to defrost and all that. So he's got to try and get some ice in there. So he's got to get a bloke to fix the machines. And old Billy said, "Don't panic." He said his friend's got to owe him a favour. And now he's trying to say, OJ's trying to say that the bodies are starting to like smell a little bit, and some of the makeup is trying to fall off the bodies and all that while they're trying to do all the makeup. Now we've got Sharon and Mel in a taxi going off to see Kira. Now we've got the new adopted parents, the foster parents, at the Masoods, coming to see that little girl, Daisy. And the adopted or foster parents, they said they need more work and stuff, basically. And then he's saying to the woman, to Mr. Masood's auntie, oh, I thought Daisy's not allowed in the kitchen. And then she said, oh, under supervision. And he says, oh, I'll come in there as well, he said. One of the foster parents, blokes, wants to come in the kitchen with him. He says, oh, I can supervise too, he says. So he's going off. And now we've got the uncle talking with the other bloke who's supposed to be looking after the little girl as well. Or wants the little girl at the house. And then the uncle's saying, oh, everyone's different. He's, about the girl, he said, the girls and the foster kids. He said, not all of them are the same, he said. He's saying one of the kids wouldn't talk to him for the first month. And he's saying one of the girls was lashing out at him or something. Pulling her own hair and all that. Saying she was crying all night for that, the husband and wife of the Masoods. He said that's just one night. And she's supposed to be moving in at the end of the week. Now we've got the auntie doing some cooking in the kitchen with the husband or the friend or boyfriend or something of the other bloke who's supposed to be adopting a little girl. And he goes, oh, it's supposed to be. Oh, he says, oh, something smells nice. He says, I'm gonna have to learn how to cook. He says to the little girl. She goes, starts nodding. And now she's saying to her, oh, not too close, not too close. And she wants him to go and get her and little Daisy and the bloke to get him and some ingredients for the food they're preparing or something. And now we've got the uncle saying to the bloke, the other bloke, that he knows the little girl's history and all that. Saying that she's seen things that no child should ever see. So apparently hurting herself or something. And then he's saying it's changed as it's stressful enough for the little girl. And he said it'd take time. But the bloke wants, he said all he wants is to make her happy and all that. And keep her safe. But apparently the little girl doesn't know that. Or yet. So apparently she's trusted adults before. And they've let her all down before. So now this bloke is technically doubting himself whether he could do a good job or not of looking after the girl. But he said, the uncle's saying if he's struggling, then he should come forward and ask for help. But he's worried that he's under scrutiny or some extra scrutiny. Right, now we've got the auntie in the kitchen looking at the other bloke in the kitchen with the little girl, trying to make her laugh and all of that, playing with some food and doing little smiley faces and all that. And then we've got old Billy at the funeral home. He's just got one of his clients come in to look for her sister, but he's got to make sure that the bodies don't like defrost. So Jay's brought loads of bags of ice just to take in there. And I presume the woman's thinking, so why has he got bags of ice? I thought they were supposed to have freezers or something. And old Billy said, oh, this is my colleague, he goes, Mr. Brown, he goes. He's about to have a nice ice bath. And he's training for the London Marathon. Oh, he's got to come up with some excuse. Supposed to be visiting her sister or something. And then he goes, oh, of course. And then she was about to come to the one room. And he says, oh, he said, no rush, he says. So he's telling her to go into his office. Now it's back to Karen Taylor in the launderette. And Mick coming in with loads of washing. He's got too much to handle. And he's saying Linda's chucking up now. He said, oh, Karen's like saying, I'll have them all washed and all done for you and cleaned and dried. And then she says, what do I say, a score and all that? And he goes, I thought you said half price. And then he goes, cash on the nose, he said, as soon as it's done. And now she's got a smile on her face. And now back to Billy and Jay, and he said there's one thing Les taught him, and that's to never rush a client, he goes. And then OJ said, unless the gases, he said, in the funeral home is about to explode and blow up all the bloody bodies. Oh, and his friend Wayne's turned up, the one to fix all the fridges. Oh, and now they all started laughing, and this girl's sister just walked in, and she's seeing them all laughing and all of that, while her sister's like being about to, when she's seeing her sister in the funeral home. So she's probably wondering why they're fucking laughing. Oh, now Honey's walked into the launderette now. And Karen said, oh, I'll do your washing for you and I'll deliver it to your house if you like, she said. But she says she needs it back for tomorrow. So Honey said, yeah, why not, why not? Now we've got Billy and Jay clapping each other's hands because they've just fixed all the fridges in the funeral home. Now we've got Pam turned up. She says, hello Billy, she goes. Now we've got Kira's just in the house, in her house. And Sharon and Mel's turned up. And Kira's saying, I think, was it, Phil sent you to do his dirty work or something to Sharon. She said, oh, actually no, she said, I knew you wouldn't let me down, she's saying to Mel. And she said, who's your friend, she goes, other words, Sharon. She said, oh, Phil's wife. And saying, oh, he sent you to do his dirty work, has he? But apparently he doesn't know she's And then she goes, oh, the pleasure of all of this, she said. But there's only one subject she wants done. Has she got her money? And then she said, oh, Ben took the money. But someone must have took it off him. Because she don't know and neither does Phil. None of them knows where it is. And she said, oh, who told her? And she said, oh, Mel said, oh, I told her, she goes. She said, oh, Sharon was worried. And Ben was worried because of how much trouble he was in. And then she said if she had found out her dad was having a payday and stuff, she said, would she just stand there all in drapes and all of that? Now Mel said that Sharon insisted to come and talk about it. And now Sharon's saying how bright, that Ben's a good kid, but he's not that very bright to pull off a heist. And she said anyone could have got to him. Saying the money's gone. And she can't give Kira what she hasn't got. But she can give Mel's son back, she says. And she likes Sharon, apparently. She said if it was different circumstances, they would be at the bar drinking cocktails. And she said they would have had a good night. And she was going to say bold as brass then. Now, Mel wants to know where her son is, Hunter. But Kira said that he's gone for a drive, apparently, with Robert, whoever he is. She said, no, Sharon's trip has been in vain, has been a disappointment, really. And saying that, Mel knows the school. She said, a simple exchange. She said, my money for Hunter, for her son. She said, help yourself to a drink, she said. She says, a tonic in the sideboard. She says she's going to check to make sure the blokes in the house are not wrecking the entire place.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so we're almost done on this episode. So yeah, she ends up finding a gun in the cabinet in Kira's place. Then we've got Pam back at the moment. She's actually a bit disappointed in Billy, and I believe this is the episode where she sacks him as well, fires him from his job, and gives it to Jay. The reason being for that is because she was found out that Billy or someone had taken the car or taken the hearse, and while he took the hearse, or someone took the hearse, actually it was Billy anyway, we all knew it was Billy, but he's trying to cover his tracks up that it wasn't him. He's also been having an affair as well. At the time when Janet, his daughter, supposed to got ran over, and that continues on a little bit on the next episode, which I will do a review about. Apparently Les has had a complaint, and he thinks it's about the tax invasion when it's not. It's more serious than that. Apparently where the hearse has been taken.
Well, the tax has already been paid.
Yeah, by the tax revenue people.
But he didn't know about it.
But he didn't know. He thought, but he was getting nervous, and she says that was been paid months going back. Yeah, he said, Les paid that. He said before. He said he sorted that out. But he said she said this is even worse. He said he reckons he's messed up, and he said, she's saying he sorted that out months going back. He said he's been in contact with the revenue for months. He said, you don't need to worry about that, she said. Or she's saying this complaint's even more even concerning. Giles, it's from the Sentry manager. Then we've got Karen messing up all the clothes and all that. And she's mixing up all the clothes from the launderette. And then they have like a little guessing game in the pub, don't they, to see whose clothes it is and all that. Because what has happened, she's put all the clothes together, and she hasn't like sort of sorted them all out. Because she thought if she'd put them all together, then she could get them all done. But she's got to mix them all up. And then we've got the Masood's auntie and uncle saying she wants to get in touch with the social services, the social worker, about the little girl. And now we've got Pam saying that one of the people actually found out one of the graves had been exhumed, in other words, dug up. illegally. And then he goes, oh, it's terrible, terrible. He said, when you got people like this going around digging graves up. He said, desecrating them and all that. And then she said, that's why he put, Giles put CCTV in the graveyards and all that.
But he said it wasn't.
And then he said, the only reason that he actually put the actual CCTV in was particularly this night. Oh, he said one of the gardeners started moaning about one of the graves. He said it took him a while to process the photos. He said, what photographs? He said it must have been old Billy, she said. And he goes, and he's laughing, he goes, me? He said, me?
And he looked at the photo.
He said, what would I be doing in a graveyard at night time?
He looked at the photo and he said, that's not me.
And then he goes, that's not me.
And then she produced it.
And then she said, yeah, that's what I want to know, she said. So he said, oh, it's a hearse in a cemetery at night time. She said it could be anyone.
So she produced another.
He said you can't even see who's driving in the photograph. So she gave him a second autograph or a second photograph. And then she said, oh, he had the actual number plate like photographed as well, blowed up. It's their hearse and all that apparently, which only certain people have access to. And then he's laughing, he goes, it ain't me. He said, you can see it's not me.
Ah.
And then he goes, oh, it's not Les, she said. And or Colin. And she said, you're the only one who's got the keys. Oh. Now he's trying to get out of it, he's trying to get a bit nervous. And then she said, what happens, he said now, what happens if someone actually took the actual keys, used the hearse, and then brought it back the next morning? He said, I wouldn't have bit any of the wires, so he said. Yeah, he's clever, isn't he? He's clever. Oh, I'd like to see the old Billy back. You remember the little bastard one? He used to go around beating Jay up and all that. Jamie, wasn't it?
And then he went a bit soft.
And then he went a bit soft and all that, yeah. I mean, there needs to be a sort of like a bit more of a grittiness to him now. There needs to be a bit more. Oh, he's asked, Jay's coming along now and he's asking Pam if she'd like some fig rolls and some coffee. Oh, Pam's saying now, reputation is a serious thing, she said, in the business. And she said, how does this look, she said. She said if Les and Giles didn't go back so many years, they would already be seeing legal action. And Les said the only reason why he hasn't come back is because he's furious. He's angry. That's why he hasn't turned up. And she said the only reason why he's not there as well is because he doesn't want to see Billy because he's disgusted in him. Yeah, he's disgusted in Billy. And then she goes, well. He goes, Billy, Billy. She says she wants an explanation. Oh, Sharon wants a Hunter, and she said, oh, then we'll leave you in peace, she's saying to Kira. But now Kira said, oh, didn't I make myself clear earlier? And then she goes, oh, Sharon's saying now, like, oh, going around threatening kids, she said, that's not really a very high class. Now she's trying to say to Kira, this has got to stop. And then she says she came there in good faith, and she said, well, if you're not willing to, she said, well, you're not the only one with contact, she said. Ooh. Now Kira said, oh, what a shame, she said, when she thought they were going to be friends. Oh, and now she's got Dennis's number, oh, Kira. Now she's going, Denny, Denny. And she said, how do you get my son's number? She's going, ugh. And now back to Billy and Jay now. And Jay wants to know why Billy was digging up the grave. And Jay is Pam saying, oh, well then you leave me no choice. And then she said, talking to Jay, she's actually appointing Jay as acting temporary manager. Ooh. And then Billy said, well, you know how this looks and all that. But she said, he's saying it, she said, you got to trust me. He goes. But Pam's saying, oh, we did trust you. But everything what they've worked for, Billy's let them down. And then she says she has no pleasure in doing this to Billy. You're sacked, she's saying to him. Ooh, goodbye, Billy. Looks like you're going to be redundant. Yeah, well, Billy's going to be redundant now.
Yeah.
And then, on top of that, he's been having an affair, isn't he, on top of that?
He turned really soft when Janet was born, didn't he?
I know. When Janet was born. Well, no, to be honest, when she was first born, and he found out that she had Down syndrome, he kind of felt he distanced himself a little bit. Because he was shocked. And then suddenly, when the shock came into it, and then he got a bit closer, he kind of felt sorry for her and all that.
And
So
he kept really soft then.
Yeah, then he went really soft, and like now he's so happy. He's actually happy for her. And all that. And actually, that Christmas.
Honey wasn't any good then.
Huh?
Because Honey wasn't very good at the time, because she didn't want the baby, did she?
No.
But she went off, didn't she? And she took the boy with her, but left Janet.
Yeah, left Janet with Billy and all that.
Yeah.
And then suddenly she came back, and now she wanted both of them. I mean, if that was say a real parent and all of that, she would probably had her kids taken off her by now. I mean, a child, at the end of the day, can't help how they were born and stuff at the end of the day. That's the whole thing. Guess it's a process of life, really. How life actually deals you the card. It's like I was born with a defective heart, but I carry on. Like, I just live like a normal person, because I am normal at the end of the day. Oh, the mouth he get. And now Mel's saying, oh, Sharon's got the money. She's lying to you. To Akira. Oh, the dirty, filthy bitch. Huh? Oh, and then she said, oh, I've got to give it to you, to her and all that. She said she held out for as long as she could. Longer than Mel could. And she said she forgot to tell her, Mel's forgot to tell her, to Sharon, that she don't like liars. Oh. She said, a low-rent housewife. She said, going up against me, she said, that's a bad idea. And then she said, Mel gave up on her after she set eyes upon her. Oh, it's calling her a bitch now. At around 7:30 as well, saying bitch at 7:30 at night time. It's supposed to be, because that's a swearing word at the end of the day. So yeah. Alright, so that finishes this episode off for the 5th of February 2018, Monday. Anyway, guys and girls, if you enjoyed the episode, do like, favourite, share, comment, subscribe. Cheers for watching, stay safe, and have a good day.